Hi, welcome to another episode of the AI Workflow Lab. I'm Tita, and in today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you about Copilot agents. So, agents are really good. They're more than good. They're awesome. Through no code, I'm going to show you how we can create an agent from scratch to do some automation. Think of agents as your AI companion that can multitask, can respond to many people who are asking questions, give that targeted response to that requester, right? So there are many different agents that you can create, many different scenarios. I'm going to show you how you can create an HR agent, right? So the scenario is you have an agent, your organization that needs an agent that can respond to end user requests, such as how much holiday do I have as part of my role, or what's the company policy on expenses, etc. So if you can create an agent that points to where that knowledge source is and can then respond to your end users, how cool would that be? How efficient is that? Rather than burdening HR with multiple emails that they need to respond to against these policies, have an agent do that. That's just one of the examples, right? So I'm going to show you that, but please be aware that you can also apply agents to loads of other scenarios. Okay, let's get into action now. So I am on my M365 Copilot tenant, and what I'm going to do is go to create agent, nice and simple. Then I need to give it a description, so I could either describe or configure. You'll also notice that there are several Copilot agent templates you can choose from. I'm going to have another video, another series where I'll go through the custom Copilot out-of-the-box agents that are available on your tenant. So that's for another series. But for now, for this one, let's go ahead and create the agent. So I'm going to go with configure. So first we give the agent a name, so we'll call it HR Contoso. Description, so what's this agent going to do? Let's just say respond, support users around queries, something like that. I can spell around, that would help. Okay, so this instruction, describe what the agent should do, define its tone, outline any rules or guidelines it must follow. So this is really important because this is where you get to ensure that the agent isn't doing things like hallucination or making up the answer. So this is where we give it specific instructions. And what I would also suggest is you can use Copilot to give you suggestions to the instructions that you should do for the agent. So I'm going to do that. So you can see here, I could say things like, please be accurate in your response. If you do not know the answer, don't make. So you can see, I could do something like that. Apologies, I'm not really spelling well today. Response. So that's one way to get the instructions, but you could also ask Copilot to do that. So if I just draft that agent, so it's in draft mode now, I'm just going to go to Copilot chat and I'm going to say, please provide me the correct instructions for my HR agents. Instructions need to ensure the answers are accurate. If agent does not know the answer, it must say so, not make the answer up. So I'm actually using Copilot chat to give me suggestions around what instructions I could use for my HR agent. So AI, you helping AI, which is very common. We're going to get to that stage. So look at that. Here, create a practical set of instructions you can give your HR agent to ensure accuracy and transparency. So all that stuff, no fabrication, don't make things up, avoid vague language, clarify when needed, use official sources. So I'm going to copy that because that looks excellent, right? And I'm going to go back to my agent. I may need to create it again, but that's okay. So Contoso agent, and I'll just control paste the description. So look at that now, HR agent response guidelines. I'll just tidy it up a little bit. Accuracy first, and then transparency, no fabrication, don't make things up, clarify when needed. If the answer isn't clear, ask for clarification, etc. So you can see how I'm using Copilot to give me the appropriate instructions for my agent to ensure that it's accurate in its response. Let's grab my agent again. And by the way, you don't have to do this. I could have just free texted it. I could have just said, don't make things up. Make sure if you don't know the answer, don't make it up. Pick your answers nice and professional and brief, etc. So I could also have just typed that in. Okay, so let's just call the description of the agent was HR agent to support Contoso stuff. Okay, so we've got that there, we've got a description, and then later on now, you then now go to the section where you have to decide where it's going to get that information for. So it's an HR policy agent, right? So it's going to be referencing the policy documents that you've created in your tenant. So let's go to where those policies are. I have them in another screen here. So let's just go here. I bring that across, you can see, just so you have it. These are the policy documents. So I'm going to get the agent to point to just those 2 files. Of course, it could be loads of files, could be thousands of files. But the key thing here is that it's going to just reference this information. So the content creators will be responsible for creating those documents and updating them. And the agent will always just simply refer to those documents when it's conducting its response. So I've copied the link. Now I'm just going to paste the link here, and that's the one I want. And you can see now that I've got the source. So it's going to reference that area in SharePoint when responding to the prompts. I can also reference the website if I wanted to include that, or use specific sources. So I'm going to say yes. In other words, what I'm saying is only use the SharePoint site and that document library. But you can see how when you're deciding what knowledge the agent should reference to respond to your questions, you can choose a variety of sources, including the website, Teams, SharePoint, emails, and so on. And then there's the capability section. So are we saying that we wanted to create charts, documents, and code? Yes or no? We'll say yes. It's highly unlikely that you would get code as part of the response from HR, but if that was the case, you can enable it. Create images, visual aids like images, and in response to user prompts, maybe you can switch that on. And then this is where we have suggested prompts. So what sort of prompts will the users see when they launch the agent to get them going? So I'll just enter one of them, like what's the title? Holiday entitlement. And then what the question would be something like how much holidays do I get? And then if I click on, and I could add several more prompts, you can see how it's already updated it over there on the right hand side. So I've got my suggested prompt to get users going. You can add as many as you want. I've seen agents with like 15 suggested prompts as well, and you can always update them. But once I've done that, that's pretty much be good to go. So let's just create that agent. I could have also done things like done some branding, give it a logo, give it some branding, personalize it. And that's also an option. Click on creating the agent, as you can see, churning away. Go and make yourself a coffee. See, I always tend to say that. There we go. So as you can see, it's been created. It's currently private, but you can then, and that's the best practice to do. Once you create it, it's private, so you can have a look at it and test it before you share it. If I wanted to share it, I would then simply click on here and select anyone in my organization, or specific users, or only me. So I'm just going to keep it like that for now, only me. And then I'm going to update the agent, and then let's go ahead and give it a go. So let's go to the agent now, and you can see holiday entitlement. How much holiday do I get? It's already there as a placeholder. Click on that, click go. Let's see what response we get. Contoso HR agent. Yeah, so there you go. According to the holiday booking policy, that's how much holiday I get. Notice how it references the document, which is that Contoso holiday booking document, which was this one here, which was in the SharePoint site. So it's referencing that. I can ask another question. How about travel? What expenses are not refundable? What expenses are not refundable? Okay, so I want to know, is there anything that I need to be aware of if I'm trying to claim? So we do that again. Another typical sort of question that an end user would say. And you can see now, according to the Contoso travel policy, personal entertainment, alcohol, fines, they're not refundable. Notice how it's referencing the travel expense document. And again, that is the second one, which I had in my document library, if I can find it. But you know what I mean. It was, there we are. So now it's referencing the travel expense one, whereas before it was referencing the holiday booking. So you can see how quickly that and how easy it is to create an agent, right? So what I want you to do is, hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what sort of agents you're interested in creating. Put that in the chat and let's get on a call and talk about this. I'm also looking to, as I said earlier, my previous series, I'm looking to help organizations in terms of their thought process, their strategies around AI and Copilot, once again, please just fill in the form below and let's see if we can chat, right? But I hope you enjoyed it today. I certainly did. This was a no-code, low-code experience. As you can see, there wasn't any horrible coding. No offense to coders, of course, no offense at all. But look, this is a no-code world we live in, the AI no-code world. That's what this is all about. So I'm Tita. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's see you on the next one. Bye for now.